All right, we are going to look at fractions, but algebraic fractions. So we already know how to simplify fractions, right? What is anything divided by itself? 1, right? Anything divided by itself is 1. So if I have 4 over 4, obviously that's 1. 9 over 9 is 1. So the same is true for x over x, right? So anything divided by itself is 1. So we know how to simplify fractions, right? Obviously 4 over 6 is 2 over 3. So if I have 4xy over 6y, what's my simplification? 2x over 3, right? These y's are cancelling out because they divide out to 1. The x stays, and this simplifies to 2/3. Now, we can have much more complicated versions of this. So what if I had something like 10x squared y cubed over 5x to the power of 4y? So what I need to do now is figure out how to simplify this. First of all, let's just do everything separately. So we're going to separate everything. What is this, the numbers simplified? It's just 2 over 1, right? Do I need to write the 1 on the bottom? No, I don't. All right, what happens with the x's? Okay, I've heard lots of people say things and I either haven't heard the right thing or people haven't said it loud enough. What are we doing?
X squared.
Okay, x squared on the bottom, right? There's 2 up here and 4 down here. So it's kind of like I have 2 up here, 4 down here. Whoops. And I'm canceling out those, right? So there's 2 left down here, none left up here. These 2 are gone. Same with the y's. What's left with the y's?
Squared.
Y squared is up the top, right? There's 3 here, 1 here, so one of them gets cancelled off. So this is my simplified version. Okay, now we are also going to combine what we did yesterday with fractions, which is everyone's favorite thing to do. I know. Try and hold your excitement. All right. Once this saves, okay, here we go. All right, what if I did something like,
I got this.
oh, hang on.
I expert and expert.
Hang on.
So.
That's a 9. All right. I can simplify something like this. This is quite complicated, but it's possible to simplify. I'm going to think of the top and the bottom as different things for now. How could I how can I factorize the top? Good. This is DOPS, right? Something squared minus something squared. This is x plus 3x minus 3. Remember the DOPS pattern? This is x squared minus 3 squared. How do I factorize the bottom? No. What is it? Good. They're both minus 3. The 2 numbers that add to the middle and multiply to the last are both minus 3. Now look. Right? Ooh. So these 2 brackets match, which means I can cross them out, which means I'm left with this. Now, you cannot do anything else. There are so many people who cross out the x's. You can only cross out things when everything is multiplying, right? So in our previous examples, everything was multiplying. Here we have brackets multiplying brackets, brackets multiplying brackets. You can think of this as AB divided by CB, right? And we're crossing off the B's. That's what this is. These are adding and subtracting. We're not just allowed to cross stuff off. That is my final answer. All right, let's do another example of something like this. Pick another color. All right. What if I have something like
Y cubed minus 25.
All right, I'm going to do something like this. What do I always look for first when I'm factorizing? Common factors, good. Samriti, what are my common factors on the top? 8 and x, good. Thanks, Samriti. So what's left?
X plus 1.
Good, 3x plus 1. All right, what are my common factors on the bottom? Just x, so what's left? Ah, look at that. Ta-da, matching brackets. What else can I cross out? Hey, so what's my answer? 8. All right, so look for everything that they have in common, top and bottom, figure out what you can cancel, and most of the time you'll be left with a fraction, but sometimes you might be left with something like this. Right, that's kind of it. It's just a lot more of that type of thing. All right, let's have another look at, first of all, let's save this. Let's have another look at multiplying fractions. Do we remember how to multiply fractions? How do we do it? Yep, straight across the top and bottom. Excellent. Yeah. So if I have 2/5 times 3/4, what's my answer? 6/4. Good. All right, so this is fine, but it's incomplete. If you don't simplify your fraction at the end, you have not completed your job. This would be your final answer. So let's do that with letters as well. So what if I have 2x² y over 5y times 4xy³ over 3xy. All right, straight across the top and bottom. What do we have on the top? 8x cubed y to the power of 4. Excellent. And on the bottom? 15xy². Wow. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm glad we can all count. All right, can I simplify my number fraction? 8x. No. So 8 what? X squared. Y squared. Over 15. Excellent. All right. So we multiply straight across the top and bottom, and then we simplify. Are you allowed to simplify first? Yeah, you can. If you want to simplify first, what you could have done over here is say 2 and 5, 4 and 3. Can't do anything with that. But I could have cancelled out those. Could have cancelled out those. Could have made that a 2. And then I would have ended up with this anyway. It doesn't matter which order you do it in. Okay. I don't care if you simplify first or later, as long as you do at some point. It makes no difference. All right, let's do a division. Do we remember how to divide fractions? What do we do? Flip and multiply. Good. We do not divide fractions because fractions are division, aren't they? So if we're dividing division, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm just going to make sure I'm not accidentally going to do a question I assigned you. What am I doing? 13, 1. Oh, I did give you that one. Let's not do that. Okay, let's do this one. All right, 4CD over 7 divided by 16c² over 8. All right, so am I flipping them both? Oh, what am I flipping? Just the one on the right. Good. All right, good. So we just flip this one, and then straight across the top gives us 30. Straight across the bottom. 30. What? That's a 7. Feel free to use a calculator if you can't do it in your head. 112c². All right, let's simplify. 32. Okay, I need to simplify my numbers as well. So obviously there's a D on the bottom and a C, sorry, D on the top, C on the bottom. What do my numbers become? What are we dividing them by? Okay, if we divide them by 2, what do we get? Keep going. 8 over 28. 28. You divide by 8. Okay, you can divide by 8. Good. So let's just make that 2/7. All right, so this would be my final answer. All right, divide. So you're not dividing fractions, you're flipping and multiplying. I don't care if you cancel first or last, as long as you do. Some of these are going to be factorizing quadratics, right? So you need to factorize, then cancel your matching brackets. Some of them look very difficult, some of them not so much. I'm also going to give you a hint on some things with much higher powers than we're used to dealing with. Some of these have like to the power of 4 and things like that. There's even a question with to the power of 20. So let me show you what I mean by that. If I have a to the power of 5 over a to the power of 3, what's my answer?
e to the power 2.
Good, right? So there's 5 on the top, 3 on the bottom, there's 2 left. Yeah? We remember the rule, it's just subtraction. Whoops, that's a 3. All right, the same is true if I write something like this. Right? Same thing. So this, it's like this is my A, right? Because they match. So then my answer is just x plus 2, and there's 2 of them left. Does that make sense? So if you have lots of brackets with powers on them, just treat them like a letter. Treat it like a term. All right, great. We are doing exercise 14.12 and 13 today. Have a go.
Well,